Carlsbad Caverns was the first stop on our journey to visit all 418 national park units, and we spent 5 days there. On day 3, we did the Lower Cave ranger-led tour, and in this video, we will take you along for some proper cave exploration.
The third tour we did was to Lower Cave. Now, Lower Cave was again very different. This is an area that wasn't explored until really quite recently, and certainly wasn't open to the public until much more recently. It was a real privilege to go down there. Some of the things we saw, you climb down with a rope to get in, and then when you're down there, there's some much kind of less commonly seen things. Cave pearls were one of the things we saw down there. These small little sort of pearls that were formed in the cave, and they're just absolutely amazing to see. We really enjoyed that.
And this Lower Cave tour, the cave is under the big room, so there were parts where we could see up the railings where the big room is. So that was really interesting.
Pretty cool. You could see the flashes and things from people up above, but you were down there in the darkness where we had seen it the other day.
Yeah. And another special thing about it was that we got a chance to crawl through some narrower passages.
Yeah, we were properly like on our hands and knees, crawling through the tunnels. So we can officially say now we've actually been caving and we've properly crawled through a tunnel.
Yep.
Follow me over here and I'll describe to you what you got yourself into today. Are you guys ready to spend about 5 hours in a very rarely seen or visited area of Carlsbad Caverns? Very good, okay. What we're doing today is going under the big room. We are going to a place that even when the park was first opened was seen as a final frontier, very difficult to get to. And it is a wild cave section, which means that there are no official trails and there are no lights other than what we're going to be wearing on our heads. You know, this is not Disney World. We don't have like hidden rangers and Mickey Mouse costumes that'll come out and help us if we get into trouble down there. We are in a wild cave, yes. Right. I'm just going to start lowering myself in like so, using each notch to slowly walk myself down. It's okay to look over your shoulder and see how your progress is. And when you feel like you have no more use for the rope, you can let go and then say off rope. And now it's your turn.
On rope.
Like shoulder width apart, kind of like you're riding a horse. And lean back.
I
feel like we should.
On rope. Off rope.
All right, good job.
On ladder 1. Off ladder 1.
On ladder 2. Off ladder 2. On ladder 3.
All right, great work.
Off ladder 3.
Carlsbad Caverns is a hypogenic sulfuric acid gypsum cave. Hypogenic means deep underground. So imagine being out in an open field, you can't see anything for hundreds of miles around you in any direction, certainly not mountains or water. And the caves are forming hundreds of feet under you beneath the surface. That's what hypogenic means. And he was a very charismatic guy, and one of his strategies for getting publicity out about this cave is anytime he heard a celebrity was coming to Carlsbad Caverns, he would take them down here to what's called the Rookery, what we're about to walk through. You are going on a path that Amelia Earhart has walked on, Clark Gable, and many other celebrities of that time. And this is truly considered a VIP section, and you'll see the reason why in just a moment. So please enjoy it, take lots of pictures.
This is just gorgeous.
There's really no other place that the public can go inside of Carlsbad Caverns to see this many all at once. So one of the jobs of the National Park Service is not only to protect and preserve, but also to restore. This is such a unique geologic feature that the staff of the park couldn't let it stand that it was so heavily damaged. So in the 90s, a restoration attempt took place here. And what I want you to imagine is coming down here, and the first step would be to soak all of this water up in sponges. They returned as many cave pearls as they could find that had been brought up to the surface and stolen. So a lot of these probably aren't in their original nests. And once they had restored this area as much as they could, they took that now purified water and returned it to the Rookery. Throughout the decades, even after the park was created, we start to get comfortable and feel like we know where all the rooms of the caves are, but we always end up finding more. And Lower Cave was first officially explored in 1924, but since then there have been other major discoveries, even right now in the year 2018. The whole glory in my mind of a national park is it doesn't matter what your bank account size is. But when we go over this rocky section, we like to say that if you are going to fall and hurt yourself, please fall and hurt yourself to the right of the trail. Because not only will you damage this delicate cave formation, it'll also be very painful. This stuff is very sharp. So please watch your step. Pretty beautiful area, I'd say, right? Lots of white, fresh stalactites. That is a bat encased in this cave formation, likely an extinct species, because obviously this formation would have had to have been active for this to happen. So, my grand conclusion is that I told you in the orientation room that we would be looking for the three critical elements to all national parks. We would be looking for the cultural, human stories of the national parks. I told you we would be looking for the scenic wonders of our national parks, and we would be looking for natural resources such as wildlife. And here in a single formation inside of Lower Cave, we have all three. And there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of other cave formations down here telling other stories. So that is one of the most beautiful things about this cave. It's the most beautiful thing about all caves everywhere.
On ladder 3.
Off ladder 3, on ladder 2. On ladder 1.
On ladder 1. Off rope. Give me a high five. At $20 per person, Lower Cave Tour is the most expensive of the ranger-led tours. With the knotted rope and ladder climb, it's also the most technical tour. If you're interested in seeing areas that very few people get the opportunity to see, and trying your hand at some slightly more technical aspects of cave exploration, then the Lower Cave Tour is the one for you. The fourth and final ranger-led tour we did was the Slaughter Canyon Tour, where we saw massive cave structures. But that's a story for the next time. Hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss it.